I'm going to make a statement. It's made out of humor. It's made out of fun. It's a statement. I think I got from like a cartoon somewhere or something of that nature. It's like they're trying to take our jobs. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about they're trying to take our jobs. I'm going to bring up the chat here, so give me just 1 second. While I do that, I would like to thank Jim over at 365 Trucking. I'm now a blogger or a content creator over there on 365trucking.com, which is excellent. So let me bring out this pop-out chat so that everyone can talk to me live. So if you're not seeing this live, you've missed the point where you can sit there and yell at me and scream at me and tell me I'm wrong about everything in my life. So, when we do a grind episode, you need to be over on 365's YouTube channel to see that and make that happen. If not, you're missing out. You just get to yell at me in comments that I'll never see. So there you go. All right, so here we go. We got the pop-out chat happening right now. I can see you. Hello there, Daniel. So I don't think 365 understood what they did when they decided to give me so much access to their channel here. But, let's get on. Let's get it going. Let's get on and get it going with. So they're trying to take our jobs. I don't agree with that statement. And here's the reason why. Now, I mean, I can shut the video off like in 3 minutes after, making this particular statement and just go on about my day, and everyone else can too. In trucking, I was actually just having this argument with Laurel. It wasn't really an argument. She was trying to make a point. But the point in trucking is we are such a solitary, small niche market that, you just can't come in and take the job. You can't, you have to be trained, right? Now, the government likes to say, or we like to be non-classified non-professional personnel, even though we are considered professional drivers, right? That's the way they like to phrase it. We are non-classified, non-professional classified people, but we are professional drivers. You have to go to school. You have to go pass tests. You have to get licensed. You have to test out. You have to go with trainers. You have to meet all these qualifications just to become a driver. What's the word I'm looking for? Dock bumper. A standard 53-footer OTR back and forth, dock bumper. Now, the biggest thing, and people have been asking YouTubers, bloggers, vloggers, news sites everywhere since the announcement of auto, and then auto, people leaving Google, developing auto, and then Uber buying auto, and Mercedes getting involved, and all these other large companies, and the Canadian arch nemesis of Uber Freight. Everyone's involved. I don't know how much people are actually aware of everything that's behind the scenes or that's going on. But the first thing that they say when anything happens is, well, one, they're uninformed. Two, they just like to rail, at the sky and say, why does, the great, gods of thunder and lightning hate me? Because they're trying to take our jobs. They're trying to ruin our family. They're trying to destroy us. Yeah. I do get it. I do understand why those things are being said. Swig of water for the fat man. Because it's the most common statement made by people who don't learn. They don't educate themselves on, one, the industry that they're in. Two, they're just mad at the government. If it's not Trump, it's President Obama. If it's not President Obama, it was Bush. If it wasn't Bush, it was Clinton. If it wasn't Clinton, it was the other Bush. And then it was Reagan and Carter and everybody else. They just like to rail at the government. They're mad about their lives in general, and things just suck. Things suck. So now those are the people that you hear from. The rest of the people, either they don't care, or they're just waiting to see where things fall, right? So let's get back to the point of how are they taking your jobs? If you came into this industry and became a dock bumper. Let's say you're an OTR van driver your whole career. You lived out your career. You retired. You're done. Cool. Now new technology is coming into play, right? So knowing that new technology is coming into play and being the standard, and I'm not putting down anything. I always considered dock bumping your entryway into trucking. Uh, so at the first year of truck driving, and I've had this on my own YouTube channel many, many times, at the first year of your career of truck driving, you should be looking at what's your next step? What's the next stage of trucking that you want to learn, that you want to go into? At the end of your first year of trucking, you should have an idea or should have heard enough stories, gotten enough advice, talked to enough people at terminals, at truck stops, wherever, blah, blah, blah. You should have had enough information to know that, okay, I've done the OTR side of things. I've done the dry van. Do I want to go reefer? Is there more money in it? Sometimes. What's the downside of it? Well, you might be a lot of live unloads. Maybe there's temperature control you got to do. There's fuel. There's calculations you got to take care of. Weight distribution, weight itself, that type of stuff. Do you want to go flatbedding? Do you want to do standard flatbed? Just haul some pipe around, haul plates, do steel coils, all this other type of stuff. Do you want to go oversized? You want to go heavy haul, low boy? You want to do medicine? Do you want to do drug runs? Do you want to do military style? Do you want to get hazmat, do doubles, triples, and all this other stuff? Do you want to go to Canada? Do you want to go to Alaska? All this crap that you should have been thinking about that first year. How are they going to take your jobs if you've done your research and trained yourself? Now let me restate that one more time. Trained yourself out of being able to be replaced. Now any human being on the planet can be replaced by another human being. Can an autonomous truck do everything? Okay, their first run was, it was over there in Colorado, did a beer run. Have it. I've hauled enough beer to know that I don't like hauling beer. Yeah. Can an autonomous truck do everything in this industry that a human driver can do? Not really. I don't see it. No, I really just don't. So how is it that the concern about an autonomous truck, which is probably 6 to 7 to 10 years away, being fully functional and operating in this country on a normal basis, doesn't that give you enough leeway or lead time to decide what you want to do in trucking? Now, I don't know why people start sitting there and starting to think they're going to take all the jobs in this industry. No, new jobs are going to be created. A new way is going to be created. Now, if you wanted to be that standard, truck driver, wakes up, gets in his rig and goes from point A to point B, and does that standard OTR stuff, from the nice highways, back and forth, well, yeah, that job's probably going to get taken and absorbed. So, why not have look at it from the larger side of things, money wise. Why not have an autonomous truck pick up in California and go nonstop, all the way to Florida on that nice highway? Well, I want that job. Well, pick a different way of trucking to get it. It's probably not going to be, that standard, 46,000 pound paper roll. That gravy run that people love to get on if they can get it. That will probably be taken by an autonomous truck. And they're not at the technological stage where it can be unmanned. Okay, so while that guy who has that job, sitting inside that autonomous truck, gets to sit there and be available to take over control, because autonomous, while it may sound like it can do everything, it can't. They're not at that stage yet. It may be 15 to 20 years before they're at that stage. So is it still a viable option? Absolutely. Why isn't trucking a viable option? Even if autonomous trucks are 20 years fully functioning, 20 years down the road. I mean, not now. I mean, you're saying not. They're saying, well, what if, only if I come in now. Well, no. Most of the people that we get in this industry are new guys who hardly ever stay. And that's based on their experiences when they come into this industry, or older people who have retired from say military service, police service, or their other job, and wanted to do something else, something more adventurous, something different. So why isn't trucking a viable industry to come into? Are you saying that an autonomous truck can go run frac sand? Maybe. Doubt it. Are you saying an autonomous truck could take care of all the aspects of heavy hauling equipment? I don't think so. Now, an autonomous truck can drive a truck. It can move the truck from point A to point B. Can it do every other aspect? Because there's a lot more work. I don't know why people don't get that. There's a lot more work involved in just sitting in a chair and rolling down the road. If you, that tells me that the people that are saying this aren't informed, or they're new, or they don't understand what's going on with the industry itself, or like I said, they're new, and all they know is bumping docks. So that makes no sense to me. So let me go to the comments here. Do you think they're going to completely let me rephrase this question, and I'll phrase it for the people who are going to leave comments on my YouTube channel as well. Do you think that autonomous trucks will absolutely just take over the whole industry? And what's the timeline do you think that it'll happen then? Go ahead. I'll wait down here, and I'll go ahead and say hi to a few people as well. Hello, Sean, James, Wesley, Daniel, Doug, Keith. So yeah, I'd say hi to you too, but you're not on the live stream, so you have to just sit there and look at me and be mad. So I can't say your name. All right. So Sean's on the Family Dollar account, and some of the stores are really hard to back into. Very good point there. I'm thinking about doing flatbed, but I really like to haul machines. Now, Sean, I also did the Family Dollar account when I was with Werner, and I did the Dollar General one as well. That can be a life-changing experience when you're unloading whole trailers all the time, floor unload. Now, Daniel's saying it won't be able to back the truck to the dock. Well, what's the most simple? I shouldn't say it that way. And I'll be honest with you. It took me 6 months into my trucking career to really understand, for my brain to click, how to back a truck up. Now, an autonomous truck, it should be the easiest task in the world for an autonomous truck to do, is to back a truck into a dock. I mean, they're using God knows how many satellites. I think I was just reading something about they were on a satellite system now that they just moved over to a new satellite system that's making it more efficient and better, so their technology is jumped up. Truck backing is a human issue in the brain, and it took me 6 months to get it right. And for you're a truck driver, and there's that thing that happens in your brain where it clicks. Like, oh my God, it took me this long to realize that all I have to do is counter steer this way, minor adjustments, stop oversteering, stop panicking, keep your foot off the brake. I got it. And there's that great moment of my life in the trucking industry where I don't suck as a human being. It's that moment with truck backing. I think autonomous trucks can handle truck backing. Now, if autonomous trucks fail at truck backing, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, shut the system down and then scrap it, because you're going to have to start all over. I think they got that one covered. What happens when the brakes on the trailer lockup are frozen? Will a truck know before the tires blow out? I would imagine with all the sensors and stuff, I would imagine that they would. I would imagine that the research would go into these systems to make them as fail-safe as possible. Tire pressure gauges, not like the ones that we have, but more intel. I mean, the amount of intelligence and data that's going to be processed through these trucks, while there's still a human being inside who, is on guard to take over in case of a real emergency. I am sure that technology is being worked out at all times. I mean, you're talking about guys who came from Google, and then they formed Auto, and then Uber, and probably some other backers brought them underneath the Uber umbrella. And I would assume that every moment of their waking day is basically inundated with researching technology to make it happen. I'd love to go out to California and take a look. Honest to God, I would like to see it in action. I would like to see. I would like to see it. I would like to. I mean, in the world of YouTube, I'm not really, I'm not a million subscriber guy, but I am a truck driver, and that's something I'd be interested to see. I like tech, and I like to see tech in action. I like to see how it works, and I like to bring that information to people as well. So that would be something I would be very interested in. I would like, to do a tour on one of these trucks. I would like to find out what it takes to be, what would you call it? Well, let's coin a phrase here. What would you call an autonomous truck? Would they be a pilot? Well, we like that old term, steering wheel holder. So are we just will these guys be, or if our future is autonomous trucking, what would we be called? Would we be called loungers? Recliner seat holders? Oh gosh. Okay, so James is saying technology is great, but we are creating ourselves into a dependent and unemployed society. Unemployed how? James, go ahead and expand on that statement. How are we becoming unemployed? And technology is great. I agree. I love technology. So, is it because it's going to change? Here's the thing about truckers. We hate change. We don't like change because it messes with our internal brain formula of how things are supposed to go. We don't like it. Anything that does that, we hate. But once it's been implemented and we get used to it, we don't mind it so much. Look at all the hours of service changes that has happened over the years. Look at all the stuff that companies do, like mega carriers that they do, but I know that they always go with, I know it says you can do it here, but we don't want that. I know the DOT is all right with it, but we don't want to do that. We're not going to train you how to do that. When we're talking about split braking, a lot of companies just won't even put that into play, because people just get confused. But split braking, it's legal. You can split brake all you want. So Daniel says, I think we will just be keeping the seat warm. Look, Daniel, that's not a bad thing in my opinion anymore. Trucking's killed my body. You put a nice reclining seat in that truck, I'll be like, system engaged. Boop. And I'll be like, oh, we'll turn on Netflix for like 9 hours. Y'all let me know. I'll be like, Otto, wake me when I'm there. Oh, man. All right, so Brett, here goes James. Brett. Walmart is an example of self-checkouts. People desperately needing jobs and can't get their 50 registers, and yet they're empty. Walmart is a nasty animal. The self-checkouts, I go through self-checkouts myself just because it's faster and efficient. Because you're right. They have 50 register lines, and 2 are open. One on this end, one on that end, and they have 9 self-checkout, kiosks and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't feel like standing over here. I'm faster and more efficient than this garbage right here. I don't know. I would actually hope that Walmart does, go to all self-checkout, because the system that they have in place now kind of just blows, in my opinion. All right, so Stu Stewart says, autopilot will be here shortly. Complete autonomy is a major infrastructure overhaul and another generation of computer technology away. Yeah. So yeah. So instead of everyone just, griping about it, what are you going to do about it? I was asked this question in an interview with Vox. He said, whose responsibility is it? And I said, well, you need to train yourself. And the guy asked me, well, whose responsibility is it? It's the driver's responsibility. We aren't the type of people who need other people to hold our hands to do things. If I want to be a truck driver, and I know that a certain portion of my industry is going to go a different way, then I change the way I truck. And I don't say, hey, help me change the way I truck. No, I just go do it. Every move that I've ever made in trucking has been to better and educate myself in different ways of trucking. I've driven an ungodly amount of different styles of trucks. I've done flatbeds. I've done reefers. I've done frac sands, pneumatics, tankers. I mean, I've done all this stuff so that I know that if Auto comes into, if Uber or Auto, whoever, even the Canadian arch nemesis of Uber, comes into play and says, "Hey, we're going to take over this portion of the industry," I don't care. Take it. I'm good. I'll go over there, or I'm probably already over there anyway. I don't have a problem with tech taking their jobs because I don't have that job anyway. I've already educated myself out of that position. I'm out of that. Take it. Pay the person who's going to sit in that chair and monitor your equipment a good wage, because they're going to be away from home, just as much as anyone else, probably more. They'll stop to go to the bathroom. I mean, they're not going to be under. They're probably. I can't imagine full autonomy, full autonomous trucking, when a human is no longer inside that vehicle. They're not going to stop. 24/7, 365 days a year, bud. Going down the road. Our service won't apply to that. It'll be probably, updates and update service stops and fuel stops for itself, recharging, hydrogen, all this other nonsense, and probably maintenance will stop these things. Other than that, they're not ever going to stop. They'll be more fast. They'll be faster, more efficient than the train systems. I mean, let it happen. Why fight something that's not worth fighting when you could always get a job as a truck driver? And people who don't think that they can, well, maybe they shouldn't. If you don't have that drive in you to better your situation, to better your education in trucking, well, maybe you shouldn't just be a truck driver then. Go find something else to do. Yeah, James. Yeah, I've thought of that, and I'm sure they've all thought of that as well. Secure systems get hacked daily. Yeah, that's going to be a big obstacle for them. It's going to be a large, massive obstacle to keep. If it can be, built by man, it can be destroyed by man. We're not in the Terminator days just yet. I'm not saying that we're not heading there, but we're not there just yet. But yeah, that's going to be. I'm sure that's been an issue in the forefront of all their minds, because who wants to put a remote control car or a remote control truck out on the highway and it destroys human lives? That would be my absolute number one security issue of security. Of we go throw this RC car out there, it better not screw up, right? All right, so Daniel says, but if they're going to have autonomous trucks, they're sure going to be autonomous four-wheelers. Sure, I think that's been in the play for quite a while. You've seen the technology happen over the years where these things can, park themselves, warm themselves up, bring themselves out, where the car itself takes itself over and parks, does the silly parking jobs and all that other stuff. So, of course, it's all into play. It's basically making us lazier human beings. All right, Stu Stewart says, what does JCanell, that would be me, think is the most important feature in a modern truck, both comfort-wise and safety-wise? What would you like to see in your next truck that's not available widely today? Comfort-wise, truck seats are okay. Comfort-wise, maybe this makes me sound like a whiny butt, but that's fine too. I would like, well, they do have it, but I've never had a seat with this in it. Comfort-wise, a memory foam mattress that is, I am just being a diva now. And I know they have these things. I just don't have it. I love the setup of the Volvos, the VNL 780s, the desk system on the bottom. You can bunk on top. They need to make the bunk on top more weight, likable to bigger guys, because honestly, while I like that that desk bunk system on the bottom, it's not comfortable to sleep on. I mean, those seat things are really not a very comfortable system. So I would like maybe a reversible double-sided memory foam on one side, standard seating on the other. I don't know how they would work it out. I need to go see the 760 to see how that's actually worked out, see what they've done with that, because I think that they've made like a reclining bed type system in there. I don't know, man. Safety-wise, I would like the blind spots to be removed. And I think the new generations of trucks are trying to really take care of that. I think the blind spots around trucks are just the biggest nightmare. And I would like white out snow condition light penetration. And if it has to be on a screen, I'm cool with that too. I would like the blind spots to be removed via camera systems, and I would like heavy, horrible weather penetration. And like I said, if it has to be up on an upper screen here, there, or over here, I would like that to be put into play. I don't know if anybody's working on that. It's just something that I would like somebody to think of, and to somehow, some way, have a light that can penetrate. It won't happen visually, out the windshield, but have a light that can penetrate a whiteout condition, so that we can see what's ahead of us. If we got to get off that road, but we can't see, and you don't want to be trapped on the highway, I need to be able to see further than a foot in front of that truck, so that I'm not about to just run somebody into a snowbank or about to smash into a mountainside. I would like to see something of that nature safety-wise. Heads-up display would be fine. Something that can penetrate that white wall. If it's, as we're driving, we're driving like this, right? A heads-up display, I don't mind that. If it's a safe overlay that can pop on, have the camera system sitting up here and overlay on top of the windshield, okay, I'm down with that. Yeah, there you go, Wesley, like a FLIR. Yep. All available cars, why not trucks, J, night vision, heads-up display. Yeah, something that can penetrate that wall of white so that I can get off that highway safely. That's what I would like to see safety-wise. Something that can break up the massive rainfall that your wipers can't see. You can't do this anymore. This isn't doing anything for you when those wipers are going crazy. It's just so heavy. Something digital that can break that pattern for you and let you be able to safely see down the road. That's what I would like to see safety-wise. And I probably should have wrote that down somewhere and not spoken about that in public. In a year or two from now, systems will be worked on, and I would like it to be called JCanell's Big Great Idea. Trademark. And 2 years from now, when somebody actually does create something of that nature, please send me a check for $5 million. That would be awesome. All available in cars, why not trucks? Heated roads to melt the snow or ice on the roads would be great. Heated roads. Keep buffering, have to watch later. All right. And I don't know why Heath was yelling at me. So Stu Stewart says why it's in cars. I haven't seen this in cars. This technology. Yeah. Send me a link, Stu. Send it to JCanell@gmail.com. Send me a link to this technology. Let's see if it's the kind of thing that I'm looking at in my brain, my nugget up here. That's what I'd like to see. All right, so where are we at there? All right, we're at 30 minutes. What do you think? Before we kill this particular episode, what do you think about autonomous trucks and my opinion on educate yourself so that when autonomous trucks come into play, that you're not even concerned about it? I have, and I've said it on my live streams, I've said in videos as well, I'm not concerned about autonomous trucks taking my job. I don't work in their field. You know, they're not coming into my lane. And if they do come into my lane, I can switch lanes. Or I can get inside one of those autonomous trucks, push a button, you know, and watch Netflix or something. Talk about a gravy job. Cadillac and MB. I don't know what MB is, and of course I do know who Cadillac is. Chevy and Advanced Night Vision and Cadillac. All right, I will have to go look that up. All right, Daniel, I will go check out your channel there, buddy. Autonomous trucks will only be used on such roads as I-80, Ohio Turnpike, Running Relief, LTL, FedEx. Yeah, Zane, I can see that absolutely being the major routes that autonomous trucks will take. And why not? You know, there's plenty of industry left out there for the rest of us. Because like I said, I don't want to haul beer. I especially don't want to haul beer in the wintertime. You know, I mean, I've done that, and it sucks. So, you know, if y'all want to go, you know, work for y'all want to set your trucks up with Budweiser and, you know, Coors and all those other places, it's fine by me. I'd rather not. So I'm cool with it. Mercedes-Benz, all right. Well, cool there, Mr. Bradley. Will do, Daniel. I will do. All right. All right, so that's just my opinion. This is episode 2 of The Grind. I am now on 365trucking.com. My blog series, The Grind, will be on the website there. You can find me there. I will be doing The Grind over here every week. Of course, if you're not here live, you're missing out on either yelling at me or asking me a question. But this will be uploaded on my standard YouTube channel, which is over there, JCanell, or, you know, JCanell on YouTube. So I appreciate everybody stopping by. Wait. Zane says, keep product from freezing. Beer in winter. Buddy, I know. I've had plenty of beer freeze up. You would think they would know that it would do that. That's funny. All right, there, Stu. All right, everybody, thank you for stopping by. This video will go up on my main channel as well, so that those who love to yell at me can do so. All right, so come back every week. Check me out on 365.com. All my links are there as well. Y'all have a good evening. We'll see you later. I gotta go.